Hello everyone, and welcome to the channel. So I've heard that Hassan and Ethan Klein have decided to make some comments about Abba and Preach, and frankly, I'm a fan of Abba and Preach. They talk about certain taboo topics and certain cultural shifts and beliefs, and I like to listen to that. Do I believe in everything they say? No, but do I think everything they say has any dismerit to it or should be devalued? No, not necessarily. It is their perspective, and so with that, I thought I'd take a look at the video that Ethan and Hassan wanted to post talking about their drama and their beliefs or thoughts towards Abba and Preach. And yeah, if you guys have any thoughts or anything like that, leave them in the comments. I'd love to know what you think because, as I said, I'm a fan. And if any of you are also fans or maybe not fans out there, let me know why you, what you think on the situation. They're just speaking their mind and they acknowledge that pretty much consistently. And it's pretty easy to tell that, one, they have a satirical and comedic point of view on everything. It's like they obviously are trying to make most things a joke. So, yeah, we're going to take a look at that and see how it goes.
You watch them a lot?
No,
You watched a video of them shitting on me, actually.
No. It's Peaches and Cream.
Peaches and Cream? Okay, well...
Yeah, what do you think of that nickname for?
Okay, that's rude just starting right off. Peaches and Cream, huh? Can't even use their actual, channel name or their chosen names?
I have no opinion on those guys, because every time I've talked about them, they've cut, so many videos.
They're giant pieces of shit. And
I think they're
they're peaches and cream. They're soft.
They can sometimes be agreeable, but I think that's why it's kind of insidious.
Let's take a moment here. Ethan needs to shut the hell up and let Hassan talk because he doesn't have to own the stage 100% of the time. He needs to share. There's both of them on the camera and they're both sitting right next to each other. So shut the hell up. Second, they're soft. Have you watched their content? I mean, if they were soft, they'd take things much more personally. The only time I've ever seen them actually get heated, and it was specifically Preach, was because someone decided to open their mouth about his wife and his living, his home situation. That's pretty fair roots for someone to be like, okay, no, I'm gonna get mad because now you're showing disrespect in something that's way beyond the content creation vein and outside of YouTube.
They take shit out of context to try to quote unquote dunk.
Okay, but all of that aside, just as a nickname.
Peaches and cream, because they're soft, bro. They're like a nice sweet bowl of oatmeal.
Thank you, Hassan.
I don't really like it that much.
Not good.
Okay, I think it demasculates them, and that's why I like it.
How is that supposed to be emasculating? That doesn't make any sense. If it's how you're happy, live your life. It ain't for me, but live your life. Ethan over here just looks like he has a bone to pick. He just has a problem with these two for no reason other than they talk shit about him and his perspective, because that's just what they do. That's how their channel works. They see something, they respond to it, they react to it.
So the other nickname for them we had was Babble and Reach.
Way better, right?
What?
What was it?
Even that's not that good.
Oh, come on.
Babble and Reach is pretty good.
Are these guys just coming straight out of high school and they never grew up or something? Who sits here going out of their way to make mocking nicknames for people? Such childish antics for men that clearly are well beyond that age. Hassan, I can't gauge how old he is. He could be in his mid-20s, he could be in his early 30s. Ethan over here is looking like he's in his 40s. I'm sorry, I don't care if he's in his 30s, I don't care if he's in his 20s. Look at this man. I don't know if it's the best thing to be acting like a child but trying to portray yourself as an adult or as a professional, especially in such adolescent ways.
Oh wait, what is this? They posted this? Wait, no, they're Apple and Peach.
Yeah, you didn't say Apple and Peach.
No, you guys got it
Apple
wrong.
And Peach actually is not bad.
Yeah, that's
it's better than Peaches
No,
and Cream.
it's not.
Peaches and Cream is terrible. I'm sorry.
I love how everyone else is just yeah, no, let's get rid of what Ethan suggested. Apple and Peach, that's better. How low down do you have to be that even your co-host and seemingly your soundstage guy or your producer even is just let's go with the people we're talking shit about's chosen nickname over the one you picked. Theirs is better. Look at that. They lean into it. They still get picked for it even though they're the target of all this.
I don't.
Apple and Peach? That's not good at all. I don't get that. They took a clip from my interview with Sebastian, that dumbass alpha dude, and titled Ethan Klein's embarrassing, where they tried to make it seem like Sebastian owned me.
There's a market for people that will shit on you. There's a market for people that will shit on me.
Here's the thing about
having
Abba and Preach.
Content, so they kind of take advantage of that a little bit. Hey, do your thing, man. Make some money.
The bag.
Here's the thing.
It is what it is.
Here's the thing about Abba and Preach that they don't know about me. They don't bother me enough yet. But I'll tell you this, I'm fucking insane. And if you want to do the war thing, that's my favorite thing in the world. But I'm close.
God.
They're pathetic, they're liars, they're dishonest, and they're phonies.
They seem pretty genuine to me in most of their content. It sounds pretty off the cuff, and I'm pretty sure other than having a basic layout for Here's a video we want to react to. I want to get Preach's perspective, and I'm going to give mine. I don't think they have a script. The most it has ever sounded scripted was when they're doing an ad read. I mean, you can call them fake as much as you want. It's just they have their perspective that they're going to show, and they have the kind of content that they're going to make.
Here, look at this. I don't know, but
Yeah, I mean, look, they're like at the edge of the manosphere, and they make a lot of. They used to like own a lot of manosphere guys, but then they also have some like conservative points of view. They've cultivated a big brand for themselves.
They came out.
They're like, not that this is. I mean, you're comparing them to like some of the worst people, but like I guess they're better than Fresh and Fit and stuff for sure. Like
Fresh and Fit are garbage. I will say that from now until the end of time. Those motherfuckers are a joke. Sitting down there in Florida acting like they're all big shit and they ain't nothing. Yeah, they have their money, sure, fine, fair enough. What does that go for dignity, respect, or even quality of person? I really do wonder, like, if you were to put them against some of the most intellectual or physically capable people in the world with the type of bravado that Fresh and Fit have, what would they actually be able to do? Or would they just try to grandstand until no one made them do anything and then they could act like they won to all their followers? They are a joke.
Well, that's
when we first heard about
debatable.
them, was
no, I'm
them
just saying,
making
like
fun
they
of
are
Fresh and
more
Fit, right?
agreeable. Like they are, as far as I know, and their politics might have changed, but it seems like they're like, you know, anti-overt white supremacy, stuff like that. You know what I mean? They do
The
shit
thing
on
is,
that.
I feel like they've become a gateway.
Like I said, I don't know enough about them.
You guys aren't a dragon, though. You guys are like a gopher.
What is the point of acting like this when if they're just a gopher and you're trying to go for another dragon, then you wouldn't have gotten this irked. So obviously they're more than just a gopher. So just say that you were upset by this and then say, and because of that, I'm going to war. Instead of this, oh man, it didn't bother me. I'm going to brush it off my shoulder. But fuck these guys. That will just give them more fuel to the fire. That will then fuel their channel. You know this. So unless this is supposed to be a mutual growth type of deal, I don't even know why you're responding to it if you aren't bothered.
They're one of these people, they operate in bad faith, and they'll just cut it and make a million videos of it, which is fun.
But they operate in good faith enough that like they have a lot of. I'm saying like they come across as though they are genuinely even keeled on a lot of issues.
No matter what I said and did, he would, in bad faith, just come up over me and say whatever. And I found out the best way to combat that, in my case, was to talk more. And I fucking love that game, dude.
See, that makes sense there. He admits it right there. He enjoys this kind of drama. He enjoys the fight. So at least there's an explanation for why he chooses to go down this path. Granted, have Abba and Preach been perfect? No. But their channel and their content has always been more contextualized within humor, satire, and, as noted, within the taboo cultures. They've already had that kind of marked as who they are. It just doesn't seem like it matches the environment for the kind of, oh, we're going to go to war with them and then broadcast that for no particular reason other than I enjoy it or he feels like they're disingenuous.
They, I think, do way better commentary and way more interesting commentary than
You're
Fresh
right.
and Fit, which
You're
is
right.
like literally fucking 14-year-old, like, oh, you suck if you're a woman, if you speak out against me, fuck you. Like,
See, Hassan said it right there, and I agree. They turn into 14-year-old boys who just are anti-girl. Everything about them is cooties, and they're confused by their emotions and their feelings and the new parts of their body that are growing and the smells and the like, and they're lost in the sauce and they just hate it. So they decide to take that out on people that have no responsibility over the problems in their life and their confusion and their problems.
they're definitely a cut above, and that's why they have a
cut above.
They're definitely that's the reason why they have a decent.
We're a
successful
cut
channel.
above.
Why are you doing an Italian accent like?
It's obvious in their content. Now, I'm not going to assume that Ethan Klein or Hassan over here has watched the whole catalog of Ab and Preach content, not nearly, but still, again, it's comedic. It's humorous. It's supposed to be a satirical take on their views on the world and the situations at hand and the events that they watch in their Jubilee videos or the cut or whichever may else have you that they bring up as content. So like, yeah, I'll be honest, Abba and Preach have some contentious points of views regarding the trans and homosexual community, but do I care? No, that's their perspective. We are all entitled to that as how free speech works.
I literally key searched trans on their YouTube channel, and there was like a bunch of those like, look at this clown trans person, trans,
Yes.
crazy. Like, yeah, just because you're not using like the T slur or something It doesn't mean that you're like not expressly
I feel that.
transphobic. They seem transphobic, and they got super triggered by it and popped off and made like multiple videos, just like Ben Shapiro did, just like all these other fucking dipshit right wingers did. What I was talking about in that situation was an effective measure. I was talking about boycotts. Was a silly boycott. I was actually criticizing trans people openly. The trans people that were trying to protest this, and talking about how ineffective this was, and how I actually had strategized a more effective way to overcome this PR disaster that was inevitably going to happen by trying to raise funds. I have literally raised money for trans charities alongside trans content creators and legislators immediately on the heels of this controversy regardless.
Like, I don't have the community or the money in order to donate to things like that, but admittedly, if I did, that is good of him, because at least he's trying to do something to help the people he's claiming to be on the side of, which is more than you can say for a lot of people.
And yet they just cut 1 fucking second of that, a 20-second clip of that, and went along with it. Be like, he's a fucking hypocrite.
That's how YouTube works in a lot of ways, man. You should know that. That's just how the game is played, especially on the type of content that's reactionary or response-based. They're going to take the things that benefit them for their argument or for their perspective or the thing that they specifically wanted to respond to, regardless of the other two, and they're going to do that, and then post that video. Does it get views? Does it not? Who knows? But they did it anyway, and nothing and no one could stop them.
Transphobic.
See, it's just grievance. They're like, he was mean to us, so we're gonna we're gonna
great
say
commentary,
this now.
man. You fucking got me.
Transphobic, transphobes, transphobic.
I mean, you were having a conversation about
Transphobia? Yeah, it's crazy.
Within the context of a conversation, if you have to repeat a word 20 times, you're overemphasizing the word. Contextually, most people will still remember exactly what you were talking about at the start of that conversation, and if they didn't, particularly in the streaming vein, I understand why you'd repeat the word a handful more times, just so anyone who has joined or needs a refresher because they went to the restroom or something needs to pick up where the conversation's at or what the key topic is. I do agree that 20 times saying the same word seems a bit excessive, especially because the word transphobic is it's not the most complicated word in the world, but it does seem like one of those words I'm like, do you need to throw that in every sentence when we obviously know what you're talking about and to whom you're talking about?
Wow. What, you guys didn't even make a point.
Okay, they didn't make a point. They don't have to, because it's like, fuck Hassan. That's what it is. All you need to do is go to their channel and search trans, and you'll understand whether or not I was wrong to make the assertion.
Yes, you were wrong to make the assertion that they were transphobic, specifically because you shouldn't put titles and labels on people like that unless they've made explicit statements saying that they are transphobic or I hate these types of people. Because then at that rate, you can make an appropriate claim that, yes, they are that way. But it's the same idea as calling anyone who has a differing opinion from you based off of region, culture, or country as a Nazi. Just throwing that out there. A racist is a racist, a fascist is a fascist, but there are difference in those variations. And so by calling them transphobes, yeah, you're labeling them with something that you can't necessarily pinpoint down right to the letter, because who's to say how they are with them in public? Who's to say that they aren't comfortable with them in conversation or hanging out with them or whatever? Maybe it's just in these specific scenarios that they're discussing in their videos that they find the situation to be uncomfortable, or maybe it's the circumstances by which they find these athletes in that they find to be complicated. And so that's why they make a reaction and or jokes and or comments about it. You don't know. In general, these two should be asking to interview Abba and Preach, debate them, have an actual conversation with them, not just try and talk trash and defend a straw man situation where in the end of the day, it's just words. And again, as Ethan said, these guys are supposed to be gophers, right? So why are they acting like they're dragons?
Do it.
I'll tell you what, Fresh and Fit, if you want beef, you just got to
They're not
understand.
fresh.
They are not
They
fresh
can't
and fit.
say that.
Oh.
They're gonna say you're racist. But here,
Well, it's two names. It's Peaches and Cream.
You know, I'm not going to get into that. I don't talk about people's appearances too much like that. I feel like it's below the bar for what's acceptable to talk trash about somebody, especially on the internet. It's petty.
Does this look like a
athlete.
pro-trans channel or someone
Words
that's
are
like
not violence. Steve spelled trans. Trans woman enters a hot tub with a mom and her 6-year-old daughter.
no, this is rage bait. It's just like anti-trans rage bait,
Trans
and I'm
protesters
fucking right.
lose
Like
it. Women impregnate
you're
2
doing the
women in
same thing
jail.
that like Gamergate weirdos did back in the day. You're looking at like edge cases or like random trans people every now and then behaving in like a fucking insane manner to be like, look at the trans people, they're at it again, and that's
Actually,
it.
you're totally right. Trans criminal denied entry into female prison.
Yeah, because they target a very specific topic at a time. They're not covering the broad base of the politics they're talking about. In fact, I don't know if I've ever heard either of them talk about trans rights in that particular way or anything regarding them or what they believe they should or should not have.
These
How could I
transgender
have thought
athletes
that
are
these
straight up
guys are
lying.
transphobic? I can't believe I made the assumption that these guys might be transphobic after searching trans on their YouTube page.
You can make that assumption, but that doesn't mean you should be blasting it on the airwaves because there's a lot of crossover on channels and that's going to cause harassment over there onto their channel, which might be duly warranted, might not be duly warranted. It depends as to the context of the video that you are showing and the people that are going over there, because there are some very inflammatory people and there are some people that just want to have a genuine conversation or try and change the perspective. And I'll admit, from Hassan's perspective, he's right. If you were to be just a complete new person to the Aber and Preach channel, had no idea what type of content they made and never listened to them before, you would probably assume by this style of content that they would have some level of transphobia about it. But that still does not mean you get to make that out loud claim. Because if you do, then you have to be held accountable for when they decide to fire back or for any of the other consequences that happen. You can call them a dumb shit, that's fine, but any of those specific titles where it's essentially they're bigoted towards another group, those are much heavier claims that can cause a lot more damage both internally and externally.
Women becomes a man, realizes it's very difficult. Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot. There's a lot of like damn, y'all. Damn, all these?
It's been a very popular subject, especially since COVID hit, because more people were learning about themselves and forced to stay inside. And I know it's been going on longer than that. We are in the age of self-discovery. It's going to be a popular topic, and of course they're going to lean on it, especially when the first video you do of it gets you like 500,000 views.
Hassan Piker banned for using slurs against whites.
Oh my lord.
Cracker?
Yeah.
These dudes came out against Cracker?
I don't know. I don't remember. I didn't watch it. I don't watch the videos, and then when they get banned, they cry about it, and they're like lifelong haters.
Well, as you saw, that was the video. And frankly, I think Ethen is just trying to be a bully here, and he has some ego trip going on. Hassan seems like he's trying to stay rather level-headed and make an actual viable argument and express why he said the things he said and did what he did. And to him, I'll give that credit. But Ethen over here is just acting like a child, and I don't know if that's part of his brand. I don't know if that's part of his content, but it's not befitting for a guy with grays and has had his whole life on the internet for at least the last 5 years, and most people know about, well, anybody who's involved knows most anything about it. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Otherwise, leave a like, subscribe if you liked it. I appreciate it. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Have yourselves a good day, and I'll talk to you later.